And
Yeah, recording. Yeah, okay. It just kind of glitched as you hit record there, but we're all good now.
yeah, the Skype is known for doing that. Unlike
I haven't used Skype like in literal years. So when John messaged me, he's like, "What's your Skype address?" I was like, "Oh, I don't know." I had to go find it and dig it up.
well, next time we do this, I'll make sure to give you my Zoom ID because that seems to be the popular one nowadays.
I mean, yeah, I think those ones are time limited though. Skype's fine. No, I like Skype and all good, man.
Perfect. All good. Ladies and gentlemen, as me and my new friend ramble on here over the Skype airwaves, I'm joined with Graham Murphy of an Ottawa progressive death metal band called Ominous Eclipse. As you can see in his background, hopefully Skype doesn't cut that out. When
it does show the banner. It's backwards in my feed. I don't know if it flips it around in the actual recording, but
I see it, and it does say end of, and then my box is covering it because thank you, phone.
Well, I don't know if it's my playback. It's mirrored, so everything's backwards. But I don't know if it's coming forward for you because I can see your shirt looks normal, but I'm everything on my monitor is mirror viewed.
Okay, no, we're okay. So we're here to talk about a lot of different stuff revolving the status of the band, what's been going on, and of course, the obvious elephant in the room, the music video.
Okay.
You seemed concerned for a second, like, oh shit, what's he talking about now?
I don't see no elephant in here.
So let's start right off the bat. You recently just released this year Eclipse, a single. It's almost 12 minutes long, and holy crap. Very different from the Sinister album you released back in 2018. Was that the intent to make it kind of different from Sinister?
Yes and no. Well, so a little backstory. So we've done a lot of writing over the years. Like this song was written around the same time as Sinister. It wasn't put on Sinister because of its running time. We've always been trying to place it somewhere that it's not going to take up too much time. And we weren't like when it was just the instrumentals. It was just kind of like an average song to us. But then when we decided to actually do something with it, I remember all the clean vocal stuff is done by my bandmate JD. He didn't mention that he was doing it. Just one day he sent us a new demo with all of it. We were like, wow, cool, that sounds great. So like it was kind of not really a planned out thing. He just kind of made that executive decision. He's like, here you go. And I found that worked out really well because just that big clean intro at first, like when I wrote all my vocals, it was when the heavy stuff started. So I was like, this might just feel like a long drawn out thing. But then when you wrote all that, it's like, okay, this is really coming together.
Yeah, no, I mean, as soon as John Asher, of course, my PR guy and his PR guy, sent me this email.
John Asher.
Yes, John Asher, you the man. When he sent me this email about this progressive death metal band from Ottawa, at first I was, oh. Then listening to the song, I'm just like, okay. And as it kept going on, I got hooked. I just gotta say, it's a really good song, very solid.
Mm-hmm.
Now the next question is, does this song just remain a single, or does it get put onto an album down the line?
So we're doing a 4-track EP with it, with 3 other songs. We were hoping to release that this year, but with COVID happening, everything's been put on hold. But then we decided, you know what, let's get something out while everyone's at home because get those quarantine views racked up. And we were just kind of like, yeah, let's just do it. And we did the video, the little at-home quarantine video thing. And we're hopefully we need to get into the studio to actually record everything else, and then we'll have a 4-track EP for it. Hopefully later this year. Hopefully, if not, at least by next year. I know the guy we did Eclipse with, his studio is actually open again, so we can actually potentially be booking soon. So hopefully we can get back in and get the rest of it. But yes, it'll be a 4-track EP.
Here's hoping very soon.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now, when it came to recording the music video, in your mind, did you ever think this is how a music video of your band would be occurring? Is through phones and just each one of you individually being at their own houses doing this?
No, but like as soon as when everything like hit whatnot, like that was immediately like as soon as like quarantine started, it was like let's use this as an opportunity. It's like, oh, it's an at home thing. It's almost like because if this wasn't going on, it might just kind of seem like a low budget idea. Although it turned out a lot better than I expected. But it's kind of like it's an excuse that we don't have to worry about paying for like really high video production and stuff. We can just do it on our own, and it fits the theme of what's going on right now, and it works out. But no, I didn't see something like that ever happening, but I'm kind of glad it did. It worked out pretty nicely.
Now, last I checked on the video, it had over 660 views.
Yeah, I think it's like just hit 700.
That is amazing. How, as a musician who just released this, how do you feel?
I was not to sound a little overconfident, but I was kind of expecting this going in because when I sent Asher the song, when I gave our friend Joe Moon, A Dark Moon, who produced the song, shout out to Joe Moon, when he produced the song, like pretty much everyone who I was working with up to the release were like, holy crap, this is a really good song. So based on everyone's reaction, I've worked with John Asher before and other people in production. Usually they'll be like, yeah, it's pretty good. But like the fact they like seemed blown away and actually gave me that feedback before release, we could tell this was already going to be something special. So I was fairly, based on even before it was released, the hype people were giving me, I was hoping that would translate, and it has, as fairly expected. And yeah, but it still feels great. It's really amazing to hear the feedback from people in our, I've never had a video like shared so much within our community, like within one day. Like everyone seems like, you guys have to check out this new song, and like the amount of messages I received one day, people just going like, where did that come from? Because they're used to like us just doing straight death metal. So it was very humbling for sure.
Awesome. Now, I don't know much again about the Ottawa scene because Hamilton.
Yeah,
but
Hamilton's got a great scene, I hear.
Oh, thank you. Yeah, we're starting to.
Well, not right now.
So, yeah,
no one seems good right
now. No, so in Ottawa, adding progressive to your death metal sound, does that make you more unique or kind of fit into to similar bands from the area?
I don't know. We're pretty vast. I'd like to think that it would set us aside. I think Ottawa is fairly straight death metal, so I think we were just kind of like one in the pack. I think this does put us outside, but we definitely have a very vast, a lot of newer bands. There's a lot of like progressive bands coming around. One band we might good friends of mine in a band called Missoura. I've actually played with them before. I think like we're kind of like in this song put us in a similar vein at them, although they're technically Montreal now. But there is definitely other bands in that vein that we do fit in now. But I think we're just we're mixing and matching with several different groups of Ottawa sound. So I think that just makes us more versatile as to which shows we can be asked to play. We can be asked to play like straight up death metal shows, like we opened for Diaz Time last year. But then we could probably play shows with more progressive bands, say like if like one band that rolled through that I really want to play with one day would be Neobliviscaris, because I think we could fit their sound as well. So I think it just makes us more versatile for what shows we can do.
Fair enough. Good point. Good point. You opened up for Diaz Time?
Yeah, we did last year. I've got a fun story about that show. It was an amazing and horrible show all at once. I can share that story later or now or whatever. But
please, the floor is yours.
All right, so we were opening. So they were touring. I'm actually looking at the show poster across the room right now. They were playing with it was Deicide, Origin, Jungle Rot. I think it's The Absence and us. And
shit.
Yeah, so we were opening. I think we were hitting the stage at like some ungodly early hour. Like it was like a 6 o'clock start time or something. Anyway, so we were like dead openers. We were the only opening act, so there was no gear sharing. Like we had to bring all our own stuff. And this was last summer, and for anyone in Ottawa remembers, there's like really high water levels. One of the bridges to Quebec was closed, so traffic was always horrible in Ottawa, and especially at rush hour. So we get there. It's myself and the bassist are there, and we're waiting for everyone else to show up. It's I think it's like 5:30. Anyway, just not to make it too. I think our drummer showed up 15 minutes before we were supposed to start. in which we had to unload the drums, set them up on stage, sound check, and then start, all within 15 minutes. And so this was like just so stressful and insane, but we managed to pull it off. Like we were like literally 1 minute before we were supposed to start, like we were set up. And I remember our sound guys like, all right guys, take a breath and then start your set. And we're like, okay. And then when our drummer was counting the first song, he counts in the wrong tempo. And we like, it like just sounds like crap. We stop and then restart again. It's like, oh my God. But then we had a really solid set after it, and everyone was like super supportive and stuff. So, but it was definitely played before like Diaz Time and Origin, and just looked like total amateurs. So, but it was a funny story in the end.
Yeah, no, that is awesome, and I can attest to you. Ottawa Traffic is horrible. I went to see Slayer in Ottawa last year, and we get there around 2:00.
Yeah.
Show starts at, I believe, 7. We didn't get to the show till like 30 after 7. Because we were trying to get to the hotel. It got to 5:00. We were making no progress. I just said, okay, why don't we just go straight to the Canadian Tire Center?
Mm-hmm.
So we did that, and it took 2.5 hours to even get to the parking lot.
Yeah, that's great. I was gonna say, yeah, because that was in Canada, so at least you can stay outside. But if you went downtown into like a hotel and then tried to drive out, then good luck.
Yep.
Yeah, so I think and if I remember correctly, that same Deicide show night, the highway running through Ottawa, 417, got like shut down for the night to do some maintenance. Because I remember, and luckily everyone got there before. Because I remember I had a few guys who bought tickets off me who were like, "So the 417's closed. Can I have a refund?" I was like, "No, you can still get here." But yeah, like it was bad. Like that just shut down the city and made it impossible to drive anywhere for a bit.
Man, that is insane.
Yeah. But we opened for DSI. That's pretty cool.
I mean, in the end, that's ultimately an awesome thing. And in the music video, you do see a wall of a bunch of the shows you performed at.
That's just that's just across the room. That's where I was just looking. Yeah. Referring there. Yeah, that's just it's yeah, that was the cool idea for like the backdrop for the vocal. It's kind of like a little Easter egg type thing, just kind of stuff. Found interesting spots in my house to film myself.
For me personally, it was just like a holy shit. For a young band, they have performed a lot of bigger shows with a lot of amazing bands, and I'm looking forward to when you make your way down here to Southern Ontario. I mean, like the south of Southern Ontario, to perform in one of these cities, whichever you choose to play at.
We'd love to.
Sorry, water. It's not very warm. Yeah. Water break for both of us. Perfect.
Water break,
yeah. Perfect. Now, have you guys really left the Ottawa area to try and expand the name?
We've done like one-off shows and stuff. We've never done an actual tour per se. We've ventured out to Sudbury. We've hit Montreal up. We played the Bankley Hill Farm Fest. If you're not familiar with that, that's in a small town near Hawkesbury, just outside. They've been doing it for I think 2 or 3 years now. And the year we played was pretty good. Like Beyond Creation was the headliner the day we played. So, yeah, they're pretty. They're a pretty good band, I'd say.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, I'd say so. Yeah, other than that, just kind of the odd one-off. But we haven't ever done like a full-on tour or anything. I think the band's focus is we'd absolutely love to do that, but we wouldn't want to just do one of those kind of small, like, book all your dates and like it be up in the air, like what's gonna be like show to show, and it potentially being a huge money drop, because like we get to play shows with really big bands here in Ottawa, and they're always great turnouts because of the lineups. So we all work, we all have careers and stuff, and although we are very music driven, we're not in like this like we're going for it like full. We all kind of have our fallback careers and stuff, and we're And I think our primary focus is more releasing high quality music, like our new track, and like in hopes that, like, if it gets really popular and takes off, then if there's a demand and popularity, then it'll be easier to play out of town shows. And when I think with social media and stuff nowadays, it's not as key to like, oh, you have to go on tour and do this, and that. Maybe more to have the tour. That would be more beneficial. Maybe to have tour experience so that labels would take you more seriously and whatnot. But for us, I think we're very content with just always having a really solid home show every few months and prioritize releasing high production music and trying to get listens.
Okay, that is extremely fair enough.
Yeah.
Like, you stated great facts. I can't, like,
it's not for everyone. Some guys want to do. They want, like, I've heard the tour life is hard, and especially if like none of us have like a tour van. So it's like, okay, so to go on tour, we'd have to go buy a van or rent one or this, that, and that. Try to like contact all these promoters, get these small shows. They can be dropped last minute. And a band like us, I don't think like doing any show between Monday and Thursday is ever going to have a very good turnout unless you're playing under a well-known headliner. And so I think like in the summers, yeah, it's better to try to do like Friday, Saturday stuff every different weekend or so. But I think we've all just been very busy. Like 2 of our members got married last year, so they had really busy summers. So we're just sticking with the local thing. We're pretty content with that. I think if we got asked to be an opening act on a tour for a bigger band, I would rather do touring like that rather than just try to head off on our own. But I know like that's not necessarily something to expect because bands don't typically want to take you on unless you already have tour experience. But we're just kind of seeing how it goes. All the punches. Yeah.
Now, whenever it does come time for you to, I guess, do shows outside of Ottawa, where for you personally would be one of the big cities you would want to go to?
Well, we've already played Montreal, but that would have been one because Montreal is just such a metal capital, right? And like the scene there is just crazy. So I've already played Montreal, but it was just a small bar. I would like to play like a Montreal gig in like one of the more, and like if it was like in a more sizable venue, like that one, like a bigger act was playing, and we got to open for if that happened to arise. Like something like that would be absolutely amazing.
Excellent. Now, I know I'm probably just doing a very long throw to the touchdown zone. Go
Hail
Red
Mary.
Blacks. Yeah, Hail Mary. Henry Burris. I don't know what I'm trying to do, but if
it's Sunday.
Yeah, it's a Sunday. Been stuck in here. I don't know how many weeks, and insanity is losing focus, I guess. Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay. Outside of our great nation of Canada, where for you personally would be the one spot where if you only had the opportunity to play that city once, where would it be?
City, I'm not sure. I mean, I think one obvious one for all metalheads would be to play Wacken. Like, I think that's kind of like the end all be all for. I think that's like the holy grail. For city, that's a thinker. Definitely somewhere in Europe, probably. I don't know. That's a tough one. I can't really think of like one spot that'd be like, super standout. Probably something in like Sweden or Finland because like Opeth and Children of Bodom are my favorite bands. So maybe like I don't know, something in those areas.
Okay, something like a Helsinki or Stockholm.
Yeah, Stockholm. I was trying to think of it. Could probably, but yeah, because I think Opeth are from Stockholm. I'm not sure. I could be wrong with that, but yeah, maybe something like that. Just because, and that's more of just like I don't know how crazy the shows get there, but I just feel like it's kind of like where like some of my like idols are from. So something like that would be cool for sure.
I know that would be awesome. Now we're at the point where I'm going to ask you this question because this is how committed I am to your band. Where can one find merchandise?
I've definitely kind of neglected the whole like online merch store and stuff just because like it just I haven't really like worked on like, oh, we're not that big yet. I don't deal with this. But right now it's just kind of at shows, and sometimes if people like want to get shit, they'll just message me and I'll just kind of do a package. But we don't have an actual online store set up yet because I haven't really looked into that. Because I don't know if like because if it costs money to have a merch store, I probably wouldn't bother right now because I don't think it would get the traffic. So I'd have to try to find something that's like I think Big Cartel has like you have a few items on for free. But as of right now, it's at live shows or through direct messaging to the page or myself.
Noted. Well, does Bandcamp charge for merch pages?
I don't know. That's just like I said. I'm terrible. I haven't done my research.
Oh Jesus, my phone. The thing I'm recording with. Jesus, not the. Oh Jesus, no, not you, computer. Of course, phone drops. Everything decides to not work.
Everything goes. Yeah.
Yeah, everything goes.
I spent a good half hour here making sure everything was secure before the call. Like, okay, make sure the mic stand doesn't fall over.
Has it fallen over yet?
No, I got it
Perfect.
balanced. I got it balanced pretty perfectly. Yeah, there you go.
Now that looks like a good microphone.
Yeah, it's the handy dandy Shure SM7B. Not sponsored, but you know, whatever.
Not sponsored. But shout out.
Shout out to Shure.
Jeez. That's too funny.
All right.
Okay. So. Yep, brain fart. There we go. It usually happens every now and then during it.
That's fine. I've definitely been rambling about nonsense for almost every question.
Wait, that's all the nonsense? What?
Okay, I guess I use way more words than I really require to for the answers I've been giving out.
Now, of course, John emails you about this kid from Hamilton for a YouTube channel that wants to interview you about the brand new song. Your initial reaction was?
Awesome, an interview. I haven't had one since our last album. I love doing interviews and whatnot, and I was really happy to see that I was at noon today because the last time I had to do interviews, they were all like out west at like 2 a.m. or midnight over the phone on work nights.
Oh.
That's no, I love doing interviews and stuff. I love having an excuse to talk about my music. So he said the interview set up. I said, awesome. Can't wait to meet the guy.
Perfect. And I'm the guy, I hope.
You're the guy. I hope.
I hope.
If you're an imposter this whole time, then gotta say
I don't think you would know the difference, though.
No.
No. Okay, I tend to ask this a lot to a lot of the local bands from all across our beautiful country and Canada. Happy Canada Day, which is coming up on Wednesday.
Yes, sir.
For you as a musician, where has been that one fan from that one odd country where you went, holy blank, we have a fan there?
Hasn't really happened yet. I gotta be honest. It seems like our fan. I've looked at our like kind of like our page statistics. I think it shows we had fans in Indonesia or something, but I haven't really come across like, oh wow, someone found us somewhere else. It all seems to be fairly. Our fan base seems to be fairly local, but Sorry, that's not really a very exciting answer to that question, but yeah, it hasn't really happened yet. But I'm sure there is one out there, just not one that's kind of popped up. And kind of went, oh, what? Maybe there has. I'm totally forgetting. But if there was, I haven't thought about it or noticed it for a while. But yeah, it's been all just kind of local scene, Canada, U.S. type stuff.
Okay. Now, a big factor for a lot of musicians is hearing their own song on the radio. Have you yet to have this happen to you yet?
Well, with like, you know, metal and whatnot, you don't really get radio play, but there is a local Ottawa station, Rebel Rock Radio. They used to do a metal segment on Sundays. They've changed it to a podcast now, but on Sundays they used to do a Heavy in Ottawa, and a good buddy of mine actually Joe Moon, the guy I mentioned earlier who produced the song, he helped start that and would play a lot of bands, and he played us pretty much like once every 2-3 weeks. So that was really cool. It's like, oh, turn on the radio on Sunday night and hearing the song on the radio, and that was really cool because I remember getting a few messages on our band page being like, hey, I heard you guys on Rebel last night. It was awesome. So it was cool to get fans from radio.
That's awesome. Now, think, Colin. Jesus. Okay, well, this is more not less a question, but just a thing to let you know. Okay. What if I was to tell you that not only this whole thing that we're doing for YouTube was also a YouTube channel / radio show in Hamilton?
I did see something in John's message that you're like 101.5 in Hamilton.
101.5 The Hawk, Mohawk College's only FM radio station, a caca.
Yeah. Yeah, he was saying that. I know that's really cool, and yeah, I haven't really checked you guys out yet, but it does sound familiar though from the Hamilton area. Yeah, because I do hear, because a lot of people like I probably heard from so I know some guys from Hamilton or Hamilton area. I know my buddy's band Decatur. They're more Toronto, but I think they play Hamilton a lot, and they're like part of that. Because you guys kind of like are part of like the greater Toronto area scene somewhat. Like I'm sure like a lot of Toronto bands head out there and vice versa.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I'm just letting you know that our show's from 9:30 to midnight on Tuesday nights.
Okay.
And we are going to be playing Eclipse right off the bat.
12 minutes. That'll take up half the show.
That'll take up half of the first half hour, which is what we want.
Perfect. Yeah, just fill her. We got to fill 15 minutes. Just put that Albus Eclipse song on.
Yeah, we'll do talking for 5. Put on the song, and then yeah,
that's awesome. I'll definitely. That's Tuesday.
Yeah, this Tuesday coming up at 9:30.
Be sure to tune in.
Perfect. I'll make sure to send you the link too.
Send the link so we can post on the Facebook and everyone can follow you to this event.
Oh, thank you.
Oh, no problem.
Now we got 2 last questions to ask you. Now this one is the second last one is a 2-parter. Are you an alcoholic drinker?
I'm not a huge drinker, but I'm not. It's not like I'm against or anything. It's just kind of like one of those things that I didn't drink a whole lot in high school because I wasn't really part of the party group. So when I went up to college, like, yeah, I can party and drink and stuff now. And I did that. And it's kind of like just one of the things like, all right, I did that. Now I'm just kind of like, just not as crazy. Like, I'm not the type of guy that's like, weekend's coming, I need to have some drinks. It's kind of like, if people are there and they're like, do you want to drink? I'll say yes. Otherwise.
Perfect. Then I don't feel bad asking you this question. Let's go. Now, currently, 2020, a lot of metal musicians happen to be pairing up with a lot of local breweries or distilleries to come out with their own signature line of alcohol. We've seen it with Iron Maiden and the Trooper beers.
Mm-hmm.
Slayer working with
I heard Randy Blythe was talking about, he has like, because he had quit alcohol, he has like a non-alcoholic beer for Lamb of God.
Yes.
I heard that on I heard about that. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, I hear it's really good.
Yeah, I would never drink a non-alcoholic beer because it's not the flavor of beer I'm after.
Yeah, no. Well, I'm with you, but I am kind of curious to try it just to see how.
Yeah, for sure.
But no, so if there ever comes a time down your hopefully long and historic run as Ominous Eclipse, and you get the opportunity to create your own signature alcoholic beverage, what kind of alcohol would you want it to be, and what would be the name of it?
Actually, oddly enough, I'll answer the question, but funny enough, a friend of mine gave me a beer as a present by, I think it's, what's the company? I think they're from Toronto too, Lost Craft, I think they're called. And they're having a beer called Eclipse. And she gave it to me as a present. Just kind of, and it's a milkshake IPA, and it just happens to be my favorite beer now. Like, not just because of the name, but like I just like, wow, this was made for me. So I think we're just gonna pretend that that's for us. But I'd probably go with like a craft IPA beer because that's kind of like what I like. So that's probably something I'd go with for the band. Can't call it Eclipse though because it's taken now.
I mean, you can call it Ominous Eclipse.
Ominous beer.
Ominous beer. There you go.
Ominous IPA. There you go.
Oh, boom.
There you go.
That just sounds like $1 million idea right there.
Boom.
Boom. And now
Boom.
time for the daunting last question. We got yes. Get ready.
Hold on. All right, just gotta get my thinking glasses on here. All
right. So, I ask this to every first-time guest.
Yeah.
Call a poser question to ensure we're not just talking to some random guy we met on Craigslist.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, I know. So, hopefully, I didn't forget that I found you on Craigslist. Who would win in a fight, Lemmy or God?
Lemmy? Like, are you kidding? Like, I don't know. I know he's dead, but I think a dead person can still beat someone who doesn't exist. Oh, whoops. Am I not supposed to say that? I feel like metalheads won't mind that I make that joke.
No. Damn.
Any non-atheist people listening to the show, that is just a joke. Don't get triggered. Colin's secretly going, well, I have to scrap this one.
No, I'm keeping that in. That's brilliant. Well, you'd be surprised with the amount of answers I've had on here. Like, for that question.
Oh, yeah?
Oh, yeah. Well, one female vocalist from a Quebec band, I will not name the band, I asked, and she goes, well, I think we already know who won. And it's just, that's dark, man.
That's a pretty good answer. You'll have to tell me after we're done recording this who that is, because I wonder if I think it is.
I will do. Don't worry. And
I would have initially just said, "Oh, it's a tie," because they both don't exist anymore. But I don't want to upset all the Lemmy fans.
Well, have you ever seen the movie Airheads?
Oh yeah, it's vague. It's like I've only seen it once a long time ago, but yeah, that was a fun movie.
Well, that is where the question's from, and the answer given was trick question. Lemmy is gone.
Oh. That's
But still, you picked Lemmy.
I picked Lemmy. Yeah. I guess like if I said who's Lemmy, then like interview over, scrapped.
That's happened a couple of times.
That's what I figured the poser thing was. I guess the right answer would be like, wait, who's God?
No, thank you, metalcore bands, for not knowing Lemmy. Oh, well, Graham, I've had a lot of fun with you doing this interview. Is there anything else you'd like to say to the people watching this on YouTube?
I hope you're all keeping your sanity at home. Cameo appearance by the cat.
Yeah.
And if you haven't already, please go check out our new track, Eclipse. It is on the Circle Pits YouTube channel. We filmed it at home with cell phones, and it turned out half all right. Thank you, Colin, for having me on the show.
You're welcome. As I try and move. Okay. Thank you, Chico, for being in my interview. And until next time, all my viewers watching, if you haven't subscribed already, subscribe. I want to get to 300. We're almost there. And I'm pretty sure Graham might appreciate it because that's 300 more people for him to talk to.
Yep. And be sure to check out the show on Tuesday.
Yes, Tuesday, 9:30 to midnight, 101.5 The Hawk Kaka. And until next time, everyone.
That's how you end an interview.
Yes. Until next time, everyone, keep on thrashing.
Doop.